What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Mission Fishing Live, special Thanksgiving edition. I guess it's not that special, just a Thanksgiving week. How's everybody doing out there, man? It's crazy. Went out to Costco today, just went all over the place. Went downtown Carlsbad. I think everybody's off. Are you guys working, or do you get stuck? Do you get the day off, or do you guys all working? But it seems like everybody else is off for the week. I know we're still working, never ending, man. But it's nutso out there, freaking crazy. Oos, welcome everybody. Big water yak fishing. You did make it first, dude. First again, killing it. Oos, welcome. Eric the Judge Lehman. Oos, Salty Dangler. Oos, Graham, welcome back, dude. Good to see you. Jessica, Zachary Riggs, what is going on, guys? The cat is here too. She is here somewhere. You're working, yeah, Big Water. You're working for sure. Working Monday through Wednesday. Yeah, Salty, I think that's the case too. We give our guys let me turn the light down here. They're getting Thursday, Friday off. I think some of the guys wanted to work Friday, but we give everybody the time off. And we haven't streamed in Tuesday in like a long ass time, huh? And the Fishy Hour used to do 5 days a week, but I don't think we've had a Tuesday in a while. So we'll see if everybody's on vacation or if they come in for the stream. We'll see what happens. But for those that make it, we'll enjoy it for sure. Have some fishing talk. Jessica, it's the most beautiful person ever. Oh man, you're buttering her up for something, Eric. I'll let you guys deal with that. All right, let's see what we got in the news. Nothing too crazy. We got the typical sheephead stuff that we talked about last week. If you guys want to watch the show last week, we talked about the whole sheephead thing. We got into that. Basically, CCA's asked us to not target and harvest sheepshead to kind of keep the numbers down so they don't get regulated for the coming year. I guess they're projected it's like 130% overdue. So just keep that in mind. If you guys want to go watch the last show, I think we talked about most of it that time. We got the whole carb thing, the carbon emission deal with the sport boats. I think the hearings went on with that last week. So hopefully we made some headway on that. I heard some of the captains talk. They made some good points. Obviously, the scientists were out there, the state was out there, and then, of course, the captains had their say. What's crazy is my understanding is that nobody even, so they're going after these fish boats and whale watching and everything like that, these commercial boats, but like nobody's even talked to these people at like the landings. They haven't talked to anyone on the boats. They're just trying to go over with these regulations. They didn't even bother to like see, not even what the economic fallout was, but like what they think of it, what it's going to do to all these families. They just this conglomerate, making decisions. And the craziest part of this, the technology doesn't even exist. They want like these tier 4 engines, that reduce the emissions, and it's not even a thing. That's a thing. Like they're trying to get rid of, these diesel engines on speculative technology that actually isn't even in production yet. So that's kind of crazy. We'll see what happens with that, but we're out there with the sport boat guys, hoping they make some headways with that. Just craziness. Let's see in the news. Also, the biggest thing, since it is Thanksgiving coming up, we got the whole we got the toy drive fishing tournament. So that'll be at Dana, I believe, this December 11th, same day as the DFA tournament. So if you're fishing that, you can fish both. Bring a toy. I think bring a boy's toy, bring a girl's toy, unopened. I think like a $20 value. So that'll be good. Get in the spirit, Thanksgiving spirit. Give to those people that are less fortunate than you. That's what it's all about, really, guys, is especially this time of year, is just helping each other out, being thankful for what we have, especially if you can give. If you can't give, that's fine too, but if you can, that's one of the blessings of being able to be in a position to give to people that that have less than you, for sure. We've all been in that, at least I have. I've been in the receiving end of that sort of stuff too. So, and Roman talked about that as well. It's good sometimes to have people looking out for you. Let's see who else we got in here. Graham Construction, always working, dude. That's true. Blue collar never stops, man. You guys know that. Like any guys in the blue collar industry, it's like a lot of times we don't get to take the time off. We're not like, well, just shut the bank down for the whole week or shut the office down. No, dude, it runs. Homes still need to be built. Roads need to be paved, plumbing needs to be done, electricity needs to be put in. People need water, people need electric, people need roads. We never blue collar dudes never get a rest. It's funny, even during like Labor Day, right? All the schools, like the libraries close and schools, but people that actually do like the labor work, they're always still working. They don't take the day off. Like they're still out there grinding. It's freaking crazy. Kiwi reacts. Yo, what's up, brother? What's going on, dude? Glad you can make it. You missed the show last week, but we're here again on a Tuesday, Thanksgiving Tuesday. Eric's working still. Let's go. Yeah, dude, are you still working today? Yeah, I believe it. Same thing, man. Right? Cars need to get fixed. Crazy, man. No rest for the wicked. You see Eric's comment for you?
What did he say? Where?
You're gonna have to look it up.
Oh yes,
Doug.
It's true.
Doug Rubin, what's going on?
It's not me. It's Urban Dictionary.
Yo, welcome. Nice holiday decor. You like that, Zach? Big shout out to Jessica. She went and dug through the storage for it. We had like these leaves, like these fall leaves. I remember like years ago out on the countertop, and that's what I was looking for. And we couldn't find them. This was like in some of the Christmas box, but spice it up for you guys. We still got a couple shows after Christmas too. I mean, before Christmas, after Thanksgiving. Kiwi Reactor at the port working. Foreman electrical contractor, 25 years. Nice, dude. Awesome. Captain Dan Oos, greetings from the Pizza Test Kitchen. Welcome. And everybody's excited. Graham. Yeah, I'm not an owner like Muto, but that's why I can fish on the weekend. Only fish on the weekends. You get there, dude. At some point, you just got to do it. You can do it. Regarding the carb, the Coast Guard wasn't even brought in on this. Yeah, Captain Dan, it's like the nonsense I'm hearing, like just the whole lack of like, and they have control and inspectors in the passenger carrying vehicles. Yeah, it's like you have a problem with the age of the ships, right? Because they get too hot. The tier 4 engines that they want to put in, is my understanding. A lot of these boats that are like wood or older, the new engines that they're proposing just put out way too much heat. So they want these boats to convert, but for a lot, it's simply not an option. They can't do it. Either the motor doesn't work, it's too expensive, it's millions of dollars, and just the lack of consultation that they made with anybody. They were just like, oh yeah, these boats put out a lot of pollutants, just shut them down or make them change motors. It's freaking asinine, if you ask me. I don't know where they come up with this stuff sometimes. Well, I do, but we won't get into that. Yeah, weekend warriors. That's right, dude. Live for the weekend, Salty. Thanksgiving special. Ho, ho, ho. Dave Braid. What is going on, dude? We shipped out your fish frosting. Got your order. Thank you very much for that today. You should get it tomorrow, hopefully. Yak Mob, what is going on? Welcome. The petition to have do a show Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's a lot of shows, dude. I don't think you guys can handle that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I always feel like I'm gonna run out of content or stuff to say if there's like too many shows. But I think that like every time, and then we always come up with something. That's not me, Eric. The Urban Dictionary. Oh, Eric, your wife's name's also Jessica. So you didn't tell me that. Very smooth. Now I have a ton of fillets. Yeah, I saw that, Zach. What boat did you go on? Zach was out there killing it. Saw a lot of those rockfish you got. What's your favorite way to prepare rockfish? And do you have a favorite recipe? Obviously, I don't eat carbs. I've done the keto thing for like 3 years at this point. So the best way to cook rockfish is to batter it and fry it. Like, I think, do like a flour batter. So basically I just either pan fry it or I smoke it. I usually smoke it for like an hour and then I'll throw it on the grill outside, or I'll just throw it in the pan with butter. Like, keep it simple, like Old Bay seasoning, with butter. I'll get the butter hot and I just throw them on, but I eat it with nothing on it, without breaded or anything, just seasoning. Old Bay's fire, dude. Little dill, Old Bay, a little dill, and then I just do a ton of butter, grill it in the butter, and eat it like that. Or I smoke it and then just throw it on the grill for a few minutes. The key with rockfish is just you have to babysit it. It's with all fish. It overcooks quick. You have to like babysit fish. It's like it's not done, and then it's like it's overcooked, literally. I like to bring it up to like 140 degrees, and just when it's like almost there, like 135 or so, just pull it off because it's gonna rise. If you don't watch it, it's like 200 degrees before you know it, especially if the fillets are really thin, and then it's like it's chewy and rubbery. So just take it off. before, but obviously the best way tacos, dude, just batter them. If you're not worried about carbs and you're on no type of diet, throw them in batter, dude. You can even just dip them in egg and just do like flour, salt, and just throw spices in, whatever spices you want. If you like it spicy, like oregano, or you can do like cayenne pepper or whatever, just in flour. Dip it in egg, shake it up in a bag with the flour, and then just fry it, dude. It's good. You don't even. It's not even like a batter. It's just like a breading, but it's super good. A little dill. I think dill goes a long ways with fish. Eric, my wife, is a beautiful pain in the ass, but beautiful. Let you take that up with her. Went out on the premiere. Awesome. Where'd you guys go, Zach? Probably La Jolla, I'm guessing. Oos, welcome, Leonard. Welcome. See, we're seeing all the people that like having to work that don't have the family commitments yet. This is like all the people that like haven't left yet, haven't gone out of town, aren't stuck at home, like with all their family that they don't even like, drinking champagne, waiting to go to bed. I saw an interesting graph on pollution. Sport fishing boats are such a small slice of the pie. Yeah, it really is. It's freaking. It's insane. Yeah. I can't even like fathom why they just go after these stupid things. I think it's like they make themselves feel better. It's like they got to tackle something, you know. So they figure, oh, well, sport boats, they're big, they're noisy, and they're in the ocean. Like it's an easy thing to get behind, right? You just be like, oh, they're polluting the waters, and everybody's like, oh yeah, we got to get rid of that. It's crazy with all the cars on the road, planes, tanker ships. Like, why would you get rid of the sport boats? You know, it's you telling me those big ships that like bring all the supplies in. It's crazy. Blue collar crew, yeah, dude, for sure. It probably is. Except for Zach. Zach's teacher. Zach, you probably got the week off, didn't you? Or do you guys work all the way up into the Thanksgiving? I don't remember what days we got off in school. Man, that was back in the day. All right. Let's see here. We did get some questions from you guys. And we posted some on Instagram. Yeah, Zach's got the plays. Salty Dangler, what are you thankful for? What's your pre-fish strategy before tournament day? What am I thankful for? I'm thankful for everything, really. There's not a lot I'm not thankful for. I'm healthy. I've got a great wife, married. I mean, I can't really complain. I got you guys. I'm thankful for all the fishing community. You know, if we keep it, fishing centric. I'm thankful for Eric. I think Eric Lehman, you're probably like you're the Thanksgiving MVP this year, even last year. For those of you guys that don't know, I mean, Eric gives so much to the community. You probably give more time and money, I think, than anybody else, especially to the crew. I mean, just with Spotty Bowl, I know how much there's always some pot that's going on, but I don't know if you guys understand like how much Eric the judge like actually supplies, not even just with this time, but his own money too. You know, I know he puts a lot of stuff in and he never asked for anything, never asked for reimbursement. A lot of the times he just, takes it upon himself. But then the time, just all the judging that you do, especially being a business owner too, now that you're, it's crazy you're doing Spotty Bowl again and probably doing the bulk of it. But just imagine how many fish you have to grade looking at every single fish. And it's not just Spotty Bowl. It's like the species tournament. He's always updating the numbers, putting them up. Like, dude, I don't even know how you find time to do that stuff. So I'm thankful for you. Thankful for that, man. Just thankful for all you guys that show up, help teach me things and show up, make it a fun time. I mean, absolutely. I want to know what you guys are thankful for. What are you guys thankful for in the fishing community? Mostly it's the time, that everybody puts in. I think that's the coolest thing. Thankful when you guys go out or when I see somebody using something that I've like showed them, and they're like posting fish. People are like tagging me in slow pitch jigging videos and stuff like that, or like when they're holding up the fish. I think that's pretty cool, being able to help somebody get on fish is, and then seeing like the gratitude for that. I don't think you can understate that. When you see that, it's cool because the whole point, like when I started the YouTube a few like months ago or whatever, it was really to fill a need, and like the whole slow pitch thing wasn't a thing. So I'm trying to bring that in and bring products for you guys to like help catch fish. So when I'm seeing you guys catch fish like that, it's like, yeah, that's cool. And when you get some credit for it, it's like, I'm really thankful you guys like remember me for that. So it's super cool. Yeah, Eric L, dude, for sure. Thankful for all to share their knowledge and time in this community. Yeah, straight up salty. A lot of these guys, especially these new guys that come in, it's like I've always said it. It's light years ahead of where other people were. I remember when I just started fishing in the bays and even in like Carlsbad and stuff like that. It was how many times I just went out there and skunked out because I really didn't know. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and you just figure it out yourself. And coming into this community, if you want to fish something, there's somebody that it's not even a matter of what you want to fish. It's people will tell you like how to fish it, how to get it. It's like they'll tell you the exact lure, a spot to go, fish this, go here. I mean, that's crazy. Being able to get that is like it's just nuts. Like I said, in Discord, I'm thankful I haven't. Oh, I read two different things. Oh, like I said, I'm thankful to have friends. Yeah, dude. Likewise. How many new people we all meet over the last couple years? Crazy. I skunked about 75% of the time my first 6 months. Truth, dude. Like if you don't know what you're looking for or what you're going for, it's a rough life out there. Let's see here. Find some more of these questions. Salty, that was a good question. Bass Fishing California asked winter bay fishing techniques. Oh man, that's a great one for all these guys in chat. I think these dudes are the ones to ask, but winter is usually it's more finesse fishing. So when you hear the term finesse fishing, a lot of times it's like the drop shot, it's Texas rig, smaller baits typically. Um, I think is the general consensus. I think anything will kind of work that you normally work with, but it'll be a lot slower. But when you do winter fishing, you got to think small. The fish aren't as active. The temperatures cooled down, so the fish have slowed down a lot. And a lot of times they're not going to waste the energy um, chasing some erratic bait, that's going crazy. So you want to put something in front of them, kind of dance it. You really got to get close to it too, and just slow, super slow, because they're not going to typically just burn out and empty their gas tank for a little bit to eat. So you got to kind of make it easy for them, so to speak. Even with the slow pitch jigging, the smaller stuff, it's like sometimes the 15, 10 grams, 20 grams seem to work a little better. But then the A was kind of counter to that too. I think Brian would say is, so I'm going to throw like some contradictory to what I was just saying, but the A rig too, also where A rig seems to be the best bait for me in the winter for sure. Whenever like I need to catch something, I just throw out the A rig. And the philosophy for that is even though it's bigger baits, it's more bait, it's still the same philosophy that they're not going to waste their time on like a single stupid bait that's just like that's gone by them way fast. But if they see a school of fish, they'll usually chase it because when the A rig goes by, they think they'll eat as school, they'll eat 1, 2, 3, 4 fish. That's what they're thinking. So when the A rig goes by and they think it's 10 fish, they're not just going to bite your one bait. They bite the one and you hook them, but they're thinking they're going to get the one. They're going to pick off a few, but normally they hit it, they get hooked, and that's what they do. But they take off on that A rig. So it's the risk reward that they have. So it's still the same principle that you just have to remember, regardless of the bait you're using, the fish get lethargic during the cold and they kind of hide and just camp out. And I think the bigger ones too, this is just my personal opinion. I don't know how this is backed by science, but we don't seem to catch as many bigger fish because I think the bigger fish can weather the storm better, almost like a hibernated state, right? They just don't need to eat as much as the little ones. When winter comes around, when you're crushing fish, it's usually smaller guys. And then when summer comes up, it's like you just smash the big guys, 15 inches, 16 inches all day. You go to Mission Bay or some of these places in San Diego and you're getting the 15-inch spotted bay bass like one after the other. And it's really not a thing. When winter comes around, it's like those are hard to find. I caught one on my pre-fish like 2 weeks ago, but it was one. The rest were like 12s and 11s. So just remember the fish. The fish it's just not as active. It's a lot slower game. So you got to be working to the fish's strength. So don't be fishing like you were in the summer, where you're just going to go out there and throw anything and something sparkly, and they're just going to bite it. So that's my advice. I try the A rig. If you're having trouble in winter, A-rig is money. Either cast it out or troll it. If you got a kayak, even if you're going from shore, try casting out the A-rig. That seems to always work. Whenever I'm looking for stuff in the winter, A-rig just gets crushed. Last winter too, that was my go-to. And then I went out a couple weeks ago, and I got a few on the slow pitch, but then once I pulled the A-rig out, they were all over it for sure. Oh, Salty, what about my pre-fish strat? Really it depends, Salty, for if it's like in the summer, I kind of just go, like, I know where there's fish. My pre-fish strat in general is looking for fish where I don't. It's more of a prospecting thing. I go where I don't know that there's fish, or I'm not sure that there's fish. So I'm looking in places like I know where there's fish generally, especially in the summertime, and it's like there's certain areas I know where I can catch fish guaranteed. So my pre-fish strat is to usually see if I can find fish if that doesn't pan out, and somewhere close to where I'm comfortable to fishing. So I'll go to my confidence place where I know is typically proven and there is fish. But in the event that there's not, or they've moved or something, my pre-fish will typically fish places that I'm not familiar with, or then I'll hit a bunch of places too. So I don't. You'll hear that a lot. I don't stay in just one area. If I catch like 2, 3 fish, like I'll just move, kind of mark the area, puts it in my mind, make a mental note of it, and then I'll go to a different spot because I'm not just trying to fish a place out like in the tournament. So if you catch some, make a mental note, move on. If it's dead, just move on. You don't stay too much. I don't try to stay too long in one place that doesn't have fish, and I don't try to stay too long in a place that does have fish. So really, it's all about mobility and covering as much ground as I can. So I'm fishing fast, and I'm just looking for areas. So really, I'm looking for new ground. I'm always looking for new areas, just in case my tried and true area doesn't pan out. And then that's what cost me in like Spotty Bowl last year. I'm not really good in Mission Bay, and I went to my usual spots where I was just pulling out tanks most of the time, but they just weren't really there. And I was catching quite a bit of fish, but they just weren't of size, and they had moved. And what was interesting was I even pre-fished before, to be honest with you, and I couldn't find them. I didn't really know where to go, but I hit areas that I hadn't fished before, but it was just dead, 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 dead. I just couldn't find them. But the good point of that is I didn't have to waste my time on those areas in tournament day. So even if you don't find fish, it's okay. It kind of weeds it out. And then also you want to all do the pre-fish as close as possible to the days that you're going to fish because it changes too. So even the pre-fish isn't bulletproof. You can go out there even like if you go out a week before, tides change, temperatures change, a lot of things change. If you can, so if I do pre-fish, I'm trying to like go as close as I can or kind of get a feel for it. But that's my idea. But I mean, too, it's even the pre-fish it's not guaranteed. It's just for me, it's kind of finding holding spots because they tend to produce once you find an area, generally they hold. It's very rare that they'll like you go there and then they're not there anymore. There's some places like that, like Valley High is like that, where sometimes the fishing's great right there in that grassy spot right by the jetty, and then other times they're just you can't find anything. There's nothing out there. So hopefully that answers your question. Basically, I'm just looking, man. I comb as much area as I can, trying to get it. Underspin swim bait. What is that for? Big water, the winter strat. Bit Mark G, welcome. Glad you can join us. No locking. Let's see. Let me catch up on here, guys. Dave Rage says he's thankful he has found a great group of fishing peers. Yeah, dude. 100%. 100%. Bigger fish eat at night in the winter. Oh, that's a good one, Salty. You know what? That is a good point. But I wonder why that is. If you guys watched my last video that I did, I was doing like a testing my kayak, but I was also doing a pre-fish, and I was catching small fish, little fish, and the biggest one I caught was at night. I was going back at heading in. The sun had gone down, and I just threw a slow pitch right there on the docks, right by Dana Landing, and yeah, caught almost a 16-incher, biggest one by far that day. Just kind of chilling at a dock, but it was at night for sure. So there's definitely something to that. Got that one down. Let's see here. Question: did you get your boat yet? No, Dave. I addressed that last week too. There was like they're still waiting on the engine, man. I knew that delay was coming. It's sitting. It's like anything else going on. A Yamaha motor sitting in a box somewhere on a tanker ship, backed up at one of these ports. I'm sure it's been shipped, I guess, but nobody knows where it is or kind of what to expect or when it's going to be in. So we're in the boat with everybody else. No pun intended. Zach Riggs says, I'm thankful for y'all. I've had so much fun learning how to fish from you guys. Awesome community and really genuine people. 100%. Got some trout fishermen in the house. Awesome. All right. Let's see. I know we got some more questions here. Winter bay fishing techniques. We went over that. Yeah, it's a rig for sure. El Sueño, sword fishing. He asked the question on Instagram. Doug, I have no idea, dude. I have no idea how to sword fish, man. I have no tips. I have no insight. I have zero knowledge whatsoever. I wish I did. If you want to go sword fishing sometime, let me know. We can figure it out. I think Kevin Nakata, if he's in here, I think he was out there sword fishing. I know it's like deep. Sometimes they're hooking up like 1,000 feet deep. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. That's definitely outside my wheelhouse. Big water La Jolla fishing tips, slow pitch at La Jolla trips. Yeah, so last week we went out to La Jolla. It was me, Mark G, and Oscar. And dude, La Jolla was popping off last weekend, guys. We went out Saturday and dude, it was just like freaking boiling like crazy. I've never seen like calicos boil like that, which was wild. So the birds were everywhere. There was all kinds of bird action, birds diving, pelicans, the terns, all the birds that you want. And I was just in the middle of it, and calicos just literally flying out of the water, pushing the bait up, the anchovies and stuff like that. The bonito too. So the bonito were in there. I didn't see the barracuda. Apparently people are getting barracuda out there too, but the bonito for sure, and then the calicos were just splat. Like it was crazy. They were just splashing right by the boat, 10 feet away, and it was almost too easy. It was like shooting fish in a barrel. I would just there'd be a boil. I just cast out, boom, catch a fish, reel it in. And so if you're gonna go out, it might be the same action. I think Kevin Nakata's been out there killing it right now. They've been just like Calico City. I don't know if they're spawning, if they're just eating, or what's going on, but yeah, they were just going wild. Everything I caught was on top water too. So I was just throwing spoons, spoons like crazy. And what I do is I cast it. You can either just use a crocodile lure, works great. I was using like a Lucky Craft, just like a little wobbling spoon. It's like flat, looks like a fish. It's like glow on one side. I would just send it out and just let it sit. Colt Sniper would work too. Perfect. Cast it, and I would just count to like 5. I almost always got bit on like the fall. Or I would reel it in, just do like a slow retrieve, and then I would stop it again. Every time I stopped, I was getting a fish. So I thought, okay, maybe let's do a surface iron. I was like, maybe I can weed out some of the calicos or something like that. Maybe there's a yellowtail in there because these birds are just going wild. The bait was everywhere, splashing around. So I put on just a regular California surface iron, what we're classic for out here. I think it was a Tatty 45, scrambled egg color. So I'm looking for like the bigger stuff. Every time I threw the surface iron, dude, straight up just calicos crushing the surface iron too. Like calico's like not even the size of the surface iron. That sort of thing, which is crazy. But I was, after like a few of those, I was getting bigger fish on the surface iron. Definitely a lot of legal calicos too. So the big ones were out there. Definitely just as much. So if you're going to La Jolla, big water, I would say you have to have a plan. Have a plan for what you're going to do, because if you want to fish yellowtail, that's something totally different. Go out there with a sabiki and someone to keep bait alive. What you're going to want to do is make bait, either the squid, or usually the mackerel, greenback mackerel, even the jack max is my understanding that it works. I've never actually caught a yellowtail at La Jolla, so I'm not the master. But I know they've been taking on squid this year has kind of been the thing. Somebody, I think a few weeks ago, got one on a greenback. So bring a sabiki, make bait, put it on like a dropper loop or reverse dropper loop, send it down in the water column if you're seeing marks, and really you're just going to troll it around. So it's not a super active way of fishing. You're basically just soaking baits, and trolling around if you're going to go for the yellowtail. Like I said, I haven't had much success with that. If you want to do calicos, it's a whole different game. And then there's rockfish. So really, before you go out to La Jolla, you should probably decide what you want to do, or do a combination of both. Um, I know a lot of times we'll like search for the yellowtail, go for the bigger pelagics, and then later in the day, if that doesn't pan out, we usually transition to rock fishing. So I would prepare some topwater stuff and then go for the rock fishing. Um, I think you can leave a lot of your light bait gear, or a lot of your light bait gear stuff at home. So I'd take one rig for rock fishing, and then at least one rig for slow pitch jigging, and then one for the top water, and one for trolling too. But I think your trolling could be your top water rod as well. I like to use one for everything. So when you're going place to place, it's good to troll. So say you're going to a spot and you're fishing calicos and you're having success with the calico fishing. I like the slow pitch jig. Absolutely destroys the calicos there. You're just going to be outside the kelp about 50 feet, 60 feet, 40 feet, right in that range, right off the point. The calicos are there. You get bit. There's sand bass too. You can slow pitch jig, or even the surface stuff. So the surface irons and the spoons were working on bonito and calico this Saturday. They were just absolutely just crushing them. Apparently the barracuda are out there too. So let's say you're like kind of tired fishing those. By the time you want to go to get rockfish, it's a good idea to troll. So there's like multiple ways to fish. So I would go for the pelagics, go for the yellowtail, stuff like that. Then when you're ready to go for your rockfish, it's typically a little ways out. So you want to troll something, bring like a DTX or a Rapala, something like that you could throw behind that dives probably like 5 to 15 feet deep. Because if you got to go a few miles, I mean, you might as well troll something. I know people have been caught, they've been bit on that. Calicos will definitely bite that too, but you can get that yellowtail bite or something. White sea bass are out there too. So troll around. And then once you get to your spot, and then you can hit the rockfish spot. Aside from that, get a fish finder. Make sure you have a good fish finder, because there's not like docks. There's no real reference points, right? There's not a bait barge, or everything's kind of like you can see the land. If somebody says I'm off the point, that's like just outside the MPA. There's like the point there, or I'm near the kelp, but there's no markers. It's ocean, and then you've got land markers, but your fish finder is going to be your best friend, because you got to really see what's down underneath you. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to the Bally High, or I'm going to the bait barge, or I'm going to the power lines. None of that stuff is out there. Yeah, so I would say just have a plan. If you're going to go rock fishing, like kind of that 175, 200 feet is good. If you go straight north, we went out. Like I like to fish that 400 area zone. If you go just outside the MPA and head north, you can hit the edge of the canyon there, and it's like 500, 600 feet, 400 feet. I love fishing that area. I get big rockfish from there. Usually with the jigs, I'll throw a big slow pitch jig, nice long one, like 200 gram or more, and just jig it on the bottom. And cut bait works too. Yeah. Aside from that, just the other basic tips. Go out with somebody, go out with a team, or at least with one other person. Probably make sure you got a VHF radio, or what do they call those? Like shortwave radio, just in case you got to call the Coast Guard or something if you go in. So it's not just, don't just have your Discord there. Make sure you got a radio, so you can phone. What is that? Not Border Patrol, the Coast Guard if you need to, or you have an emergency. Make sure you bring your paddles. You just got to be a little more prepared. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question. But spoons, man, spoons will get bit out there, and the jigs as well. So it was awesome, dude. It was crazy this weekend. It was like pretty much unlimited calicos. Like I got just tired of catching catching fish in the calicos. Bonito were there too, which was cool. So I hadn't seen the bonito all year. We've been waiting for the bonito. Everybody's been talking about where the bonito at La Jolla, where the bonito at La Jolla, and finally they were there. That was the first fish I caught. Sent out the water was boiling, threw one out, two in a row, bang bang. Oh yeah, I ate a bonito right there on the boat. So that'll be on my video. It's a catch and cook. Hopefully I'll have that out next week, or I'll probably be too busy this week. But Not even a catch and cook. It was just a catch and eat. I threw it in my bag, let it cool down for a little bit, like an hour, just straight up filleted it up. I killed it, bled it, hit it with the brain spike. And dude, that meat, it was not red at all. It was like pretty much white bonito meat. The only thing I didn't bring any soy sauce. So it wasn't like the fish was good, but it would have been great if I had soy sauce. But I probably ate like half of it. I had half of it for lunch. It was pretty good. Straight up sashimi, dude. If you've never caught fish out on a boat and just had it right there, I mean, you haven't lived. If you like sushi and sashimi, just go out and get a bonito, dude. Bleed it out, bring some soy sauce, and straight up eat it right there. So good, so fresh. Be glad that I did. Yeah, I know you're trying to set something up. Was it December 18th? Yeah, everybody's welcome. So I'm sure there's always people willing to go out. The winter too, I would say I bought waders just to go out there. This is the first time I did. I got some neoprene waders. It was pretty awesome. So I stayed dry. The surf wasn't big at all. It was super easy to get in and out, and I stayed dry. I was able to take them off, so it got a little warm like during the day. Just took them off. I threw them back on the kayak, and then when I was about to land, I put them back on. Probably didn't even need to, but yeah, stay dry. So it's going to be cold. Just keep that in mind too. In the summer you can just hop in there and it's like no big deal. It's like a badass.
Salty.
Let me catch up here. Oh, you guys talking the trout fishing? Nice. Graham said he's thankful that we live in a country that we have freedoms and are able to do stuff that we do. Yep. 100%, dude. Zachary Riggs. We got yours. Oh, we got Salty Dangler's theory. The big fish need to constantly eat in the summer. Warmer water equals higher metabolism. But in the winter, the metabolism slows. They eat when it's safer. Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like they kick back. Like they're not out there trying to go nuts. They're just trying to survive, dude. The fish, it's like any other animal, man. They're not trying to burn themselves out and go crazy. Big water yak fishing. I was thinking lingcod and rockfish. Yeah, so if you're gonna go rockfish, that's fine too. So just gear up for rockfish. I would bring get some squid. Just go to like Walmart or wherever and just get a pack of the frozen squid. Maybe get some shrimp too, and just dropper loop it, dude, or Carolina rig or 3-way rig, whatever you want to do. Just hit the bottom. Rockfish will crush the I get the rockfish on the irons too, dude. Like crazy. They'll crush those big irons, the slow pitch ones. Not the irons, the slow pitch jigs. But just find some nice structure and start jigging, dude. It's crazy. Just bring a long one, like 200 gram. Just jig it right off the bottom. Get it down as fast as you can. Not like we do with the bays, don't let it flutter down. Send that thing straight down. Thumb it down so it goes down quick. And once you feel the thump on the bottom, just work it off the bottom. Don't even reel it up. Don't even pitch it. Your pitch is just going to be your lift. And you want to be feeling it like hit the bottom every time. And dude, they come up and crush that thing. Other than that, yeah, just get some squid. Mackerel too. You can catch that too. If you catch a mackerel, just keep it and cut it up. Little mackerel fillets, dude, they love those things as well. But if you're trying to catch a whitefish, dude, all day. I got a sand dab, and I took it off the hook and I rehooked it, and I threw it down, and I caught a pretty good sized rockfish just on the sand dab. So I just threw it back down and used it for bait. The thing got slayed, but apparently lingcod liked the sand dab, as my understanding. So I've never caught a lingcod in La Jolla. I'd love to, but I have not. So I don't know. I've heard the number 80 feet for some reason. People always tell me that. Go to like the 80-foot range to look for the lingcod. It's like anything, dude. Just find the structure and just hope they're out there. I mean, they're definitely there. Yeah, but that's good. Just laser in, dude. Focus on that one thing for sure. Don't spread yourself too much. Graham says something that helped me out this year with the yellows at La Jolla was the Navionics app with the relief shading. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a must, dude. The Navionics app, if you guys don't have that, I think it's like labeled, it's called like the boating app, but it's made by Navionics. So even if you don't have a fish finder, but the relief shading, it shows you the actual contours of the ground. So you can look at it real quick and see where the structure is, where the rocks are. So your fish finder, you got to usually unless you have like a really nice one that has that built in, but a lot of us don't have those on our kayaks. Like you got to go over the area to find it, right? Like you pass over it and you're like, oh, there's something good there. But with the Navionics app, the boating app, you can look at it while you're out on the water and they'll show you everything. You can actually like zoom in and find where there's rock piles and stuff. So the relief shading shows you everything. And then you can just go to it. So if you're out in La Jolla, look at where you are, zoom in on the app, see a rock pile and be like, oh, it's not that far away. And it's got GPS. So you can watch yourself on your phone on the little boating app and go right over the rock pile. This is what I do. Thanks, Graham, for bringing that up. So I'll find a rock pile in the Navionics app. I'll pedal over to it and I'm watching on my fish finder too. And once I find it, I'll see the elevation change. So in the Navionics app, I'm seeing my little guy, I'm seeing the arrow, and then I'm looking at my fish finder. When I find the spot, then I mark it on my fish finder. Then you don't really need the app anymore. You can put that away and you can keep going back. At that point, then now you can do it with your fish finder. So now you can do the little micro movements and move around there and drop and make your marks. And then when you're done there, you can bring up the Navionics app again, and then you get the whole larger picture. So now you're actually looking at the whole bottom without having to go over it and decide where you want to go. You can be like, oh, well, that place looks good. Oh, that looks like a rock pile. And not only that, people mark the Navionics app. There's fish spots on there. They usually do hold fish. So I don't know if people have done it intentionally or think they were marking it like privately, but there's a lot of public marks like actually on the Navionics. Actually, they look like little red squares, and sometimes there's even titles on it. It'll be like Jimbo's fishing spot or something like that. So you can actually see the marks that people have left on the Navionics app, and a lot of those are usually pretty good. They do hold fish. So if you're within doubt, just go check out somebody else's spot. So whether they unknowingly marked it or they're just trying to help dudes out, yeah, go check that out. So Navionics is the bomb, dude, for sure. Definitely tells you where you are or where you need to go. So if you don't know where you're at or where you should be going next, just look at it. You can see all the rock piles, all the the riffles and the elevation changes. My new scent also works as a sashimi sauce. Yeah, dude, you also lose 100 pounds with all the vomiting you're going to be doing afterwards. It's like a diet. It's a diet sauce. I was thinking link. Okay, let me check on the catch here. Something really. Yeah, radio tire stuff. Yeah, that's a good one, Dave. Rage. Those of you guys that are just coming in the show, we're talking about launching or fishing La Jolla and stuff like that. So if you're launching from the surf in your kayak, yeah, if it's your first time, tie your stuff down. That is very, very important. More important when you're coming in, make sure you tie it down. That's the hardest part. I haven't rolled, but a lot of people have rolled. I've almost rolled. Like when I hopped off in Carlsbad, I got smashed by my kayak, but it didn't flip over. So tie your stuff down. Anything you don't want to lose, make sure it's tied down. Put the rods in, bungee them down, take your fish finder off because it's coming in is where it gets hairy. Once you go sideways and you don't know it, you tumble and it goes over. So just be prepared for that. Just bail out, man. If you feel like you're going over, just jump out and swim it in. Don't be scared to, especially if you're like waist deep or chest deep, just jump out of the boat, man. Don't make the mistake of going in with it. Don't ride a big wave in and take it all the way in, because when that wave starts breaking and you're inside of it, that's when you get in trouble. So you want to kind of time the sets. Once one breaks, go in between. And if it starts getting hairy, like I've dove out of the kayak like way early and it saved my butt. Yeah. So that's a good tip, Dave. Lock it down. Waders in the splash jacket on my Christmas list. Yeah, dude, it was the first time I wore them. It was legit. I stayed dry the whole time. It was freaking nice.
No blankie.
No blankie this time. I didn't have to worry about it. Mark G using Avionics, always relief shading is awesome. Yeah, dude, 100%. Alex Norton, what's going on, dude? You're late, but you're here. Welcome. You're not out there spotty fishing or calico fishing. They're crushing it right now, dude. I need to start using the app instead of just pedaling around the ocean. Yeah, dude, Dave, it's a game changer, bro. Once you start using the two in combination, it's next level. I'll pay for Navionics when I upgrade fish finders. Yeah, I pay for it, Salty, and I just pay for the phone version. Like my fish finder has it, like they can link like the memory card, like I could take one out and it'll like upload it. But my fish finder doesn't have it does have the Navionics maps, but it's like it's not as good. It's not really the same thing. But I think it's worth paying for personally. That's just my thing. Mark G, don't get complacent. How was your? Oh, you did roll Mark, dude. I was just gonna ask you how you went Saturday. You did roll it coming in Saturday, dude. I feel really bad too because I told you it wasn't that bad. I was like, Saturday's nothing. We went out Saturday. I went with Mark G, and I went in before the other guys by like probably 15, 30 minutes. And I came in and I was like, oh, dude, I didn't tie any, and don't take my advice because I didn't tie anything down. I was like, I tied nothing down. I left it. I rode it all the way into the surf. It was pretty small. And then I told Mark and Oscar, I was like, oh, dude, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. But apparently Mark rolled it on Saturday. I didn't know that, man. Now I feel bad. Hopefully you tied your stuff down. I know I was acting like it wasn't a big thing. You just never know, dude. It does not take a lot once you go sideways. Like, that's it. Yep, don't feel bad. All on me. What happened? Did you go sideways or rode it in too long? Because the sets weren't that big. I know there was a few like rolling big sets in, but overall they were pretty little. But once you go, yeah, once it like starts turning and you're inside the wave, that's game over. Salty when you're shopping for new electronics. If the unit accepts a mini SD card, you can load the Navionics data right into your unit. I did that with my Simrad. It's amazing. Yeah, Captain Dad, that's what I do too. So what's cool with that is if like you're on your phone making saves, you can save it on your phone and then it'll talk to your fish finder. You plug it in the fish finder and then it brings all your spots up, but then vice versa too. So if you're out on your kayak and you're marking on the thing and then you like cross upload it, then they're all on your phone. So if you go out on your boat or something like that and you have all your kayak marks still on the thing, that's totally awesome, dude. So worth it. Rode in too long. Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, you gotta jump out sometimes. Because I think when you go in too long, what he's saying is when you ride in the wave in your kayak and you wait too long, once the waves break behind you, like you start picking up speed, dude, and it's deceptive, like how quickly it goes. So once the waves pick you up, and once they break, like that water goes, and when it hits you from behind too, it gets kind of crazy. So yeah, don't be afraid to just bail out. Just go legs first. Just bring your legs over the side and hop out. I have West Coast, Baja, Hawaii. Or are those the maps you bought, Captain Dan? Yeah, those are good. I'll do it with my new fish finder. Waiting on another stimmy check. You probably get one. Yeah, but even if you get the app salty, you could start making your marks now and then just load it in later, when you get your thing. Shore pounders are my boys. You guys out there shore pounding? I know Alex, dude's always out there shore pounding, number one. I had a number of successful landings. I got overconfident. That happens, dude. Mark, that happens. You definitely got to respect. Let's see here. See if I cut up on everything. Yes, I think I did.
I think you did. What else are these guys asking for Christmas?
Got overconfident, got humbled. Dude, it happens. It happens to the best of us. What fishing gear are you guys asking for Christmas? That's what I want to know. Also, there was something I wanted to address with like the fish. So in 2020 and 2021, we have, I don't remember the number, but there's been a ton of new fishermen, especially with the pandemic. There was like a whole influx. That's why you can't find kayaks, you can't find anything. It brought a lot of people into the fishing world. But I think with that, a lot of people like don't understand how to care for the fish. And one thing I wanted to talk about was when you guys catch fish, don't hold it in the towel or like wrap it in the towel. It's one thing I do, and I've done it before too, and I'm guilty of this. Where like I caught when I was like shore fishing here in Carlsbad, like I've taken in the towel and like take the hook out and stuff like that. You don't know any better. It's slimy, or you think it's gonna fall on the rocks, but there's actually like a membrane, like a mucus membrane, where that sliminess actually protects the fish. So if you're seeing somebody out there, or if you're new or you're not aware of that, um, You guys make sure you don't, because I saw some pictures where the fish were getting toweled. Um, one of the things we try to do, like to protect the fishery, is that even when you're catching and releasing, um, you want to give the fish the best chance that you can that it's going to survive once you put it back. So if you're catching the fish and you mistreat it or it's been mishandled, even though you release it, it doesn't mean it's going to survive. So you want to reduce the mortality rate when you catch a fish. And I think that's something that we have to promote and push as experienced anglers. So if you're a newer angler, usually we've all been there, right? Um, Normally you don't want to throw, like if you catch a spotty, don't throw it in the dirt or the grass. And then, when you hold it up by the lip and it's like bending sideways, or you hold it up by the gills too. Like once you get inside the gill plates, that's how they breathe, and you can damage the gills and everything too. So never hold them by the gills, and don't hold them with a towel because you don't want to remove that sliminess on them. So in order to get them back, if you've held them with a towel, you stuck your fingers in their gills, by the time you sent them back, there's a high chance that they're going to die. So even though you're releasing the fish, you're practicing catch and release. You guys got to remember to, like, really, we got to educate each other on how to return the fish properly. So hold it in the lip, hold it sideways, support it. Don't ever put your fingers in the gills, unless you're going to keep it or harvest the fish. But just put your finger in its lip, or get a lip gripper, take the hook out, take your picture and throw it in the water. The longer it and the longer it stays out is the bigger chance that it's going to die. So if it's flopping around on the deck or your boat, the longer it's in there, it's just a higher mortality rate. And then no towels. Don't towel the fish. Don't take the slimy stuff off the fish. So really, the less you can touch it, I mean, the better. If you want to hold it with two hands, that's good too. If you want to take the picture, or if you're going to hold it up and down, or if you're going to hold it sideways, hold it by the lip, but then hold the belly. Instead of having it sag, and its lips are here, and then its whole body are hanging down. You guys can see pictures online. Um, and then if something's gut hooked too deep, I know they've talked about this on the fishy hour a lot too. Um, if it chokes the bait too deep, like if you're using a Ned rig or something like this, I've never really had this problem with the slow pitch jigs, but like with the Ned rig I have, where they, and the shrimp too, I've used like shrimp bait, they suck it down, they inhale it when they eat it, but the hook goes so far, like down into the throat and into their guts. If you yank the hook out, the fish is going to die. I mean, plain and simple, it's going to bleed too much, it's going to rip out its like organs and stuff like that, it punctures all that stuff. The best thing you can do, it's just reach in down there and cut the line as close as you can to the hook, and then just send it back. Will the fish make it 100%? Maybe not, but there's a good chance that it's gonna rust out. If you rip it out, if you just gut hook it and rip the hook out of the guts, it's gonna die. I guarantee you. So, um, cut the line as close as you can to the hook, because that hook will disintegrate. Eventually, it's gonna rust out, and the fish are pretty resilient too. Their bodies they'll reject the hooks. And everything's kind of designed that way to corrode and let go of itself. So I just wanted to bring that up, kind of little PSA for 2021, 2022, all the new guys coming in. So if you see that, guys, just for sure, no towel, don't stick your fingers in the gills. And if you gut hook them, cut the hook off as close as you can, because if you release them, um, you want to give them the best chance that you can to survive so that we can keep fishing them later. So keep that in mind. I know, but just because I've been seeing like Instagram pictures and stuff like that, I've been seeing a lot of the infractions, and um, it just kind of sucks because, even though the fish got dumped back, there's a high chance that it's probably not going to make it. If you do accidentally kill one, I mean, that's okay. It's going to happen. You're not going to have a 100% success rate, but if you can get most of them back safely, I mean, that'll do the thing. But imagine if you caught 10 fish in one day and you toweled every single one and ripped the gut hooks out of everyone, or we're taking pictures with your fingers into the gill. The high likelihood you're going to catch 10 fish and kill 10 fish. So that's not what we're looking for. You want to be able to catch 10, send 10 back if you're not going to keep them. And if you do lose one, if you're doing everything right and you lose one, it's floating belly up, I mean, that's okay. In the end, the seals will eat it, the birds will eat it. Nothing goes to waste in the ocean. So, um, I know you guys have heard that saying. So, as long as you're doing what you can to preserve it, I just ask you guys to kind of pass that along and help us preserve this fishery without being a dick, right? Without having to like. yell at these people and belittle them, but like, hey, you moron, you're using a towel. Just educate them. Just be like, hey, dude, maybe just don't use the towel because they actually have a slime. Just educate them. Let them know why they shouldn't use the towel. Give them the thumbs up. Let them know you got their back. You don't need to be that guy that's like, oh, I know so much more than everybody else. Look at these morons. Nobody likes that. So that was my PSA. I saw it going around, so I thought I had to just reiterate that. I know most of you guys know all that, so that's just
a question about slow pitching.
Alex trying the slow pitch, but the jig seems to drop straight down without much fluttering. What kind of jigs are you using, Alex? Also, love the festive background. Oh, thank you, Jean Marie Muto. Thank you so much. Yeah, Alex. A lot of times you want to make sure if you're using the free spool is the key. And also what I find helps is that if you like drop it with like a little more, like a lot of times if you set it in the water and just send it, it'll go straight down. So try dropping it from a distance, like a couple feet from the water, or even giving it a little cast. For some reason, when the lure hits the water with like some pressure, it tends to like it'll turn and then flutter down. And really those jigs are designed to be lifted on the bottom. So like when you pull it, when it flicks up, that's when it'll turn sideways and do its thing. So when it hits the bottom, pull it up, it'll come up and do it. So you won't always see it doing its thing on the ground. But if you want to have it flutter the whole way, so I'm assuming you're fishing at like the docks and stuff where it's like 20 feet, 15 feet, where you want it to flutter the whole way, which I agree with. Even like 50 feet, you can do it. Try dropping it from like a few feet before it hits the water. And I've actually had some success with that. It seems to do it. Or if you put it in, if it's like 2 feet up, lift it up and pop it up and then free spool it. And a lot of times it'll give that action. But if you're just dropping it like a few inches from the water, if you're in the water and then sending it down, I know what you're talking about. It'll just go straight down. So just try to give it a little either set it in the water, drop it 3 feet, lift it, and then let it do its thing, or just drop it like a kind of toss it in there and let it do its thing. That kind of works for me. Or just pop it from the bottom. Yeah, the 10 gram. Yeah, because those lighter ones they tend to work better, Alex. So are you using like a spinning reel? Yeah, 100 size spinning reel. Yeah, yeah, dude, that's my combo for the 10 grams for sure. 1,000 size spinning reel. Just pitch it. I would say pitch it a little bit. So when you're casting it, give it a little splash. Make sure it's hitting the water with some force. And for some reason, that tends to send it sideways. That's the advice I can give you. But it'll work, dude. Those things will start slaying. You'll see. Ooh, Jesse, what's going on, man? Glad you can make it in the last 2 minutes of the show. Muto, have you seen any difference in action on slow pitch using the clips versus direct tie? No. I use the clips personally just because I like changing slow pitch jigs, especially when I'm slow pitch jigging. I use the ties a lot. I think the tie is actually better. I mean, the clip, I'm sorry. I think the clip is better than the tie because the clip gives you more freedom. It moves around more. Where the tie, if you tie directly on the line is like, especially if it's a tight knot and it's hugging it, there's not a lot of restriction in there. The clip at least has movement. The thing will like move around inside the two circles. Plus, I think it's beneficial to switch a lot too. So when I'm slow pitch jigging, I like to switch jigs out a lot because I'm on the same rod, but I'm gonna throw a 30 gram. Well, then maybe that's not working. I'm gonna throw a 20 gram on. Maybe I'm gonna use blue. Then I'm gonna go to glow. Then I'm gonna go to pink. Then I'm gonna go to a long one. Then I'm gonna go to a short one. This might be all in the span of like an hour and like a short thing of docks. So the clip is like that's money. Slow pitch jigging, it's like variety too. I want to be able to just switch it quick without having to be stuck. Because if you're at a dock, saying it's like 15 feet, and then you just drift over, you paddle, I don't know, a few minutes over, and suddenly it's 30 feet, and you don't want to be fishing a 10 gram jig all of a sudden. You want to do like a 20 gram. I don't want to retie that thing. I just clip it. So I'm team clip. I think you guys can do whatever you want, but I don't want to tie that much. And if you're in the slow pitch game like me, it's like switching those jigs out a lot seems to be the key. One of the key things with the slow pitch jigs is the you don't always want to be switching. I'm gonna give you guys some secret sauce right now, right? You don't always want to switch. You don't always want to switch the weight. You want to switch the profile. So I'll fish a 20 gram, but I'll fish a different style of the 20 gram. So if I'm in 15 to 30 feet of water and I want it and the 20 gram is working, it's got a good fall, the current's perfect. 20 gram is like my starting point. Well, I'll switch the type of slow pitch. Maybe I go to the slow, I'll go to like a fat one that's got a fat belly that's shorter, that falls like a leaf. It's got a real leaf, like slow, real slow, kind of dancing, and it doesn't move that much. And if that's not working, I'll stick with the 20 gram. So I'm not going to just switch. I think a lot of our thinking is, oh, well, I'll just switch to a 10 or a 15 or a 40. No, I'll stick with the 20, but I'm going to throw a different profile. So instead of the short, fat squat one, I'll go for a long. It's still 20, but it's longer and flatter. So it falls like a spiral. And a lot of times that makes all the difference. So it's not necessarily the size that's making the difference. It's the profile of the bait, because the bait itself, it imitates the dying bait fish, but the fish, they can detect the movements in the water, the pressure, the movement, the line. So if it's falling really erratically, maybe they don't want it that day. So it's not really the size of the jig, it's how it's falling. So if it's fluttering a lot and twisting a lot, that might be turning the fish off. Because so they might just want a real slow, like one that just wobbles down, they fall like a leaf. And that might be the ticket. Or maybe you're starting with the one that's falling like a leaf, but it's too slow and they're not excited by it. So you throw one on that's like doing the tumbling action. So don't always just switch the weight, switch the profile. And I think you guys will start seeing a lot better catch rate for that. Even if between night and day and stuff like that, it's totally different. Even with the short ones. So I'm switching to a 10, but I'm switching the profile. Instead of the short and fat leaf fall, I'll go to like a real twisty, it's like real long one. Even though it was like 10, it's a pencil 10 where it's like really long, so it tumbles on its way down. So at least that's my tip for you guys. Don't just switch size, don't just switch color, switch the profile of the bait, switch the actual type of slow pitch jig that you're throwing, because they will fall differently. They don't all fall the same. Some go side to side, some fall like a leaf, some wobble like sideways, some twist as they go down. And that's that'll elicit more bites. Gonna go slow pitch jig for lake trout and Tahoe. Yeah, dude, tell me how it goes. That'll be exciting. Team clip to swivel here. That's right, Salty. Yeah, dude, that swivel. You've been putting swivels right on the thing. I've been trying that swivel. I've been doing a swivel to the line with the clip, and that way the swivel stays on and then the clip is on there, and then you're just switching the thing. And then I've been trying it without the swivel too. I've been going like no swivel whatsoever and seeing if I'm getting any difference there too. Leonard team clip, Salty team clip. Looks like everybody's team clip, man. I've been using the clip at La Jolla. I use clips for everything personally. Day Rage clip all the way. Yeah, I think you guys got it figured out. Yeah, team clip for sure. I'm just all about efficiency, man. I don't want to retie stuff. I really don't. When the problem is when you tie, like you're stuck to that. How many times have you not changed something because you're like, dude, I don't want to retie this damn thing? I have. I'm like, I should switch, but I don't want to because I don't want to retie the bait. Because then if this one doesn't work, I don't want to retie it again. So I'm like, yeah, I clip everything. Straight up A rigs. I run straight braid to a clip and I change it because I've got like 3 different A rigs. So I'll clip an A rig, I'll clip different A rigs. My top water stuff, same thing. I clip it all. That's what I did at was it La Jolla this week? Different spoons, just unclipping them, changing the clip. So yeah, I'm all about speed, man. I don't want to be retying. Zachary Riggs clip as well. No clip. Zombie fishing the same jig all day. Yeah, I think so, dude. Yeah. I just want to be in the water as efficiently as possible. And if it's not working, I want to try something else for sure. Good stuff. You guys got any more questions? Oh, we do have another question.
Did you see what Eric said about taking everyone's jigs?
Mm-mm.
So Muto, I had no problem.
Eric, Muto, I had no problem taking everyone's jig Saturday. Just saying. That's because you're heartless, dude. Ruthless, you're the judge. I felt bad taking jigs. Maybe if like when you got them all, for those of you guys that don't know, they fished with jigs, and then everybody put a jig into a pot. I think if you get them all in the beginning, it's not as bad because it's like you kind of gave your donation. Going up and like taking somebody's jig, that's like next level. But I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear, Eric. I like that heartlessness about you. Question: do clips work with swim baits and Ned rigs too? Dude, I clip it all. I got little tiny clips for Ned rigs too. Yes, I use them for swim baits. Big water, I clip pretty much everything, but that's just me. Zach, which clips do you use? I just get them on Amazon. There's a really, gosh, and I wish I had my. Jessica just said she finds them all over the house. It's true. They're like everywhere. I'll have to find the link for you guys. Or maybe I'll put it in Discord. There's this company on Amazon that makes like these little small ones. They're like the only place I can find them, but it's a specific brand, dude. And they're like for Ned rigs, they're the bomb. They're like so tiny, but yeah. I clip anything with a split ring also. Yeah. Dude, trolling baits. I don't care. People are saying like for surface irons, like Dan Hernandez, I think he's doing a show. He does the show like the same time right now. And he's always like he's like a 30-year guy. This guy's been fishing forever. He's like a legend, right? And he's always on his show telling like, do not fish a clip on your surface irons. It's gonna kill the action. And he's like, dude, he's so adamant about it, which is crazy. Just this weekend, I was throwing surface iron with the clip, fish after fish after fish. It doesn't matter. It's not going to kill the action. I don't know what the line. I've tested it for you guys, so it doesn't. I don't think you're going to lose any more fish. Tying takes too much time, especially when the current is really strong. Retying, suddenly you've drifted to downtown. Yeah, the P-line clips are good. Any clips are good. I personally like tactical clips on Amazon.
I put a couple links for you to look at.
That might be the one, Salty. Jessica apparently put some links. Oh yeah, these are the one. Yeah, tactical anglers. Those are the ones, Salty. 100%. We're gonna put that link in there. Jessica was just showing me them. Yep, because she found the list of ones that I bought in the past, and those are the ones. Yep, dude, those are great. Good call on that, Salty. Yeah, those are the products. Thanks. I'll check it out. Yeah, but I mean, you guys do whatever you want. You don't want to clip, don't clip. It's one of those confidence things. If you think you're fishing better without the clips, then don't use them. Do with whatever gets you bit. A lot of the old school guys, like, they think it's nonsense. I don't know. Faster. I guess the only thing I don't clip is hooks. I've yet to go down that road. Maybe that's next time, right? Like, I should start clipping like a dropper loop and switching hooks out on the clip and see if that works. So switching out circle hooks or J hooks, like, I think that's too extreme. That's too much. I don't think you need them for that point. But any jig I clip. If it clips, I clip it. Those tactical clips are good. Yeah, dude, Mark, those are the bomb. Those are like the best ones I've used so far. I like the rounded ones too. I don't really like the pointed ones. So if you guys are, some of them have the pointed ends. They're like little triangles on the end. I actually prefer the ones that are rounded and smooth. I don't like the dimpled triangle ones. So that's just me personally. I like the ones that look more like a paper clip as opposed to the ones that have like the diamond ends on the end. I think the diamond end kind of pinches them, and then I don't think the movements is free. I'm all about the rounded side. Awesome, guys. If you have any more questions, I think that's it. I've been here an hour and 10 minutes. Glad everybody can join. It was awesome. Yeah. So thanks for coming in, guys. Tuesday. Glad we could at least do one show for everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. I know I'm probably not going to see anybody out there. I don't know if anybody's fishing Friday, Saturday. I'll probably be out there this weekend. I don't know where, but I'm usually always fishing somewhere. I'll be out of town Thursday for Thanksgiving. I'm going to go visit my sister out in the Palm Springs area. So my family's meeting out there. I'll be out of town, probably leaving. I'm probably just doing a Thursday thing. But everybody stay safe. Enjoy your families. Again, just remember what we're thankful for. Thankful for the fishing community. I'm thankful for all you guys helping me grow this thing. I'm really thankful for that. I don't want that to be understated. I really do appreciate it, and I'm really thankful for everybody out there. All you guys that have helped support me, help support the stream, help support the show, help support YouTube, whether you're buying products, or even you're just watching, just liking the channel, liking the shows, liking the videos, all that stuff helps. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys all enjoy your families. Like I said, stay safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't do anything stupid. We don't want to lose everybody over the weekend. There's always some sort of tragedy, so let's avoid that. Be responsible. So we could all come back and go fishing. Enjoy your families, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And we'll see you guys on the other side. And thanks for joining me. All right, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Oos.